You down with MMC?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with MMC?
Yeah, you know me.
You down with MMC?
Yeah, you know me.
Today we are choosing our topic, and the topic is polygamy.
Oh, snap.
Polygamy. For those who don't know what polygamy is, it is basically when you are with multiple people at once in a romantic manner. There's polygamy and there's monogamy, which is when it's a one-on-one relationship. Mm-hmm. So the first question is,
and most people, just as a side note, which will probably be spoken about later on, but sometimes most people will claim that polygamy is not necessarily always romantic, but can also be emotional, spiritual, physical, etc., etc.
Oh, that's too much.
It can be spiritual? Spiritual polygamy?
Spiritual polygamy.
I never heard that.
No, we'll see.
I know of like physical polygamy where you're like, you get some, you get some, you get
or
some.
Or you just with them.
Or like,
you're my companion
for tonight. It's like one of those things. But polygamy is the topic that we chose because it's just an interesting thing, you know. Might as well. Let's do it. You know, everybody else in 2019 is doing it anyway.
So I guess the real question is right now is, what do you guys think of polygamy?
No. That's what I think.
I ain't sharing my man with no other woman. Like, no.
I gotta ride that boat too. I'm sorry. I'm not a sharer of men. So
you got more than one man?
Exactly. Like what?
Talking about he love us both. No, nigga. No, you don't. Oh, you're not sending.
Can he actually love you both equally? And that's the other question that most people say. Because there was a video that we were watching, and one of the people said, "Oh, you know, polygamy is not just about, you know, if they can give you somebody equally. You're still gonna have that one main person you go home to every night, but the rest of them are there for all the other important aspects of your life, depending on what you put them for."
Yeah.
Again, that goes into the emotional person, the spiritual person, physical person, the companion, and then the main person, which has everything, but not really everything, because everybody else is having everything else. Which makes no sense to me, but again, I don't believe in polygamy, so yeah.
I don't believe in polygamy because I'm possessive. And I don't believe in... I think, first of all, there's a lot more safety in monogamy as far as physical wise. You know, you're least likely to contract stuff, things like that. You know, I'm not getting mono from no one.
Mono's your biggest fear?
Mono? That and a bunch of other things too. But also, like, there's... for me, I'm not giving my heart to someone and someone sharing their heart with others. That just doesn't sound plausible in my life, in my world. It's just not me.
So you guys don't believe that you can equally share love to multiple women or multiple men if you're
well, you know, I believe you can definitely love more than one person. I do believe that. I believe that there are different personalities. Just because you're not with that person, or say you're in a relationship with someone, and just because you're in a relationship with someone doesn't mean that you won't find someone else appealing. It doesn't stop the fact that you are attracted to someone or this person has a great personality. Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop that at all. And it doesn't stop the fact that you may even fall in love with that person, you know, while you're in that relationship. But of course, if you do fall in love with them, it's because you don't have the necessary boundaries in place that are preventing you from falling in love with them. That's not the point. The point is, I do believe that you can give your heart to multiple people. I believe that. And I believe in a way that can be polygamous. You know, if you choose, you can be polygamous with your heart, and then eventually becomes a physical polygamy. I believe that.
I believe that you can be, like she said, that you can love more than one person, but I believe wholeheartedly that you love one person more than the rest. I don't think that you're gonna love everyone on the same equal playing field, like the same. There is someone you're gonna have the most love for, and because of that, I cannot condone. Is it condone?
Yeah. Yes.
I cannot condone polygamous relationship because I would never believe a dude that tells me, "Oh yeah, I love you, her, and her equally, the same." I'm like, no, there has to be. Everyone has. You have sex differently with each woman. You have a different kind of connection with each of them. They like different things. You guys connect emotionally on different things. Like, I guess it could be like, for say what one woman doesn't have, another one does have.
Yeah.
And another one does have. But at the same time, I believe that there's always gonna be a favorite. Like, this is my favorite wife. Even if you don't say it, it's like kids. Like, you know when you're your parents' favorite kid. They don't have to tell you. They will never tell you, but you know when you're your parents' favorite kid.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel with polygamous relationship. Trust me, that wife knows that she's favored. Okay, she knows. She ain't gonna say nothing though.
You know, it's funny because during my bachelor's, I was involved with a lot of people from the Middle East. Like like literally 50% of our class were Saudi Arabian males, and most of their parents had polygamous relationships, had more than one wife. And I actually sat down with one of them and I was like, oh, would you ever consider being with more than one woman? And he was like, oh, no. And I said, why? Isn't that allowed in your belief system, in your culture? And he's like, no, it's way too much trouble. He's like, I see the trouble that my father deals with. And that's not something I want to bring in my relationship. So I choose monogamy because of the strife that being with more than one woman brings.
Imagine the strife of one woman in the first place. What you talking about?
Right.
And he said that was his reasoning as behind why he would choose to be with one person, because there's just too much drama. And also you got to deal with two women beckoning. Even in the Bible, when
Leah and Rachel. No.
Leah and Rachel, how one of them named their son Strife in a sense.
Oh.
Like, you born because she was born from her pain of her husband not loving her. Like, why would you actively place that burden on someone? Mm-hmm. You know, of course, people are you would say at that point, well, it's her choice that she was in that relationship with that person. Yes, it's everyone's choices.
Not at that time.
What do you mean?
Not the Bible story.
Well, no, I'm talking about today's day. I'm bringing it back to 2019. Well, like, in 2019, polygamous relationships, yes, it's her choice to be with a man that chooses to be with more than one woman. Or even a man choosing a woman that wants to be with more than one man. It is their choice, but at the end of the day, you can't say that they don't feel some sort of pain from it, and they're probably numbing it by doing other things, by dating other people.
But,
you know?
I believe there's a difference between, well, let me put it this way. There may be a difference in that sense, because that would then lead to an open relationship. Because most polygamous relationships, a man is allowed to get multiple wives, but the wife has to be loyal to that man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But open relationships, there's a partnership where they're both allowed to go see multiple people, but they're the mains. Yeah. So I think it is different in that sense than what you just said at that point.
Would you be a main? I mean, excuse me.
There is no polygamy.
Would you be in an open relationship?
There is no polygamy anywhere. So no open relationship, no swinging, no anything but me and that man. That's it.
But I do get why people get into open relationships, because you literally, like, even in a relationship, you have connection with other people. Like, there's some people that you would just click with. Yeah. Even if they can be the opposite sex, but y'all just click. And you're like, it's not that you would entertain dating them, but it's like, in a world where you were single, that wouldn't be a bad choice. Yeah. But you're in a relationship, so you don't cross those lines, and
that's where boundaries have to be put up.
And you make sure you stay loyal to your person. But I feel like that's the reason why people get into open relationships, because it's like, I don't own you, you don't own me. We're not going to be the only two people we connect to. We're going to connect to others. So why not have a connection where all of us can be involved? You know what I mean? Like, even in open relationship, there are boundaries there. Like, they talk to each other about the person.
I think that's why they work.
Uncomfortable, then blah, blah, blah. I mean, for me, could I be in an open relationship? Like, JP? Like JP said, no. I couldn't be in an open relationship because I'm territorial, I'm possessive, and shoot, females don't like to say it, but I'm jealous. I don't care. Like, that's my man. And he's not my property, but
he's my property.
When he's not,
what no one says.
Like, he's not my property, but when he decided to make me his girlfriend and make it exclusive, when he decided to propose, when he decides to marry me, that's he decided that he wants to be with me alone. So yeah, no, I'm not entertaining the open relationship. And what if a man asks you, like, in the duration of a relationship, would you be open to open relationships? What if he just asked the question?
You know, I was actually in a relationship when back in my I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. You know, way back when.
It used to be a lot of things.
I used to be that. I used to be Muslim. But that's not the point. When I was a Hebrew Israelite, I dated a Hebrew Israelite. And he's the one that kind of brought me into the picture of being a Hebrew Israelite. And I left that faith because I felt like there was a lot of hate in it. And it did not mix well with my heart, period. Mm-hmm. But when I was with him, he just kind of sprung up on me. Oh, I'm talking to this girl. And I was confused. I was very confused. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, all right.
Like a friend, okay.
I was like, okay. It didn't click that. It was like he was talking to a girl. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I'm talking to this girl. You know, she lives down in Florida. Because at the time I lived in Jersey. He's like, where you used to live? So that's nice. He's like, yeah. I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, why is this guy telling me this? So I just walk away from the conversation. Brings it back up to me. Yeah, she's a really nice girl. How do you think she'd mix with us? Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, mix? What do you mean? I'm not understanding. He's like, like mix with us. Huh? He brings up the whole, add another woman to the group. And I said, excuse me? Excuse me? He's like, I'm asking you because, the Lord, because the Lord would want unity in the household. I'm asking you because if you don't agree with it, then I'd be going against the Lord in a sense. Because in the Bible, there are men that have multiple wives, and I guess he decided that he could have multiple women. And I said, I'm sorry, but those were BC for a reason. Still kept pushing it. Long story short, it didn't work out because, for a lot of reasons. It didn't work out. But just being in that situation and having, like, someone having the nerve to ask me something like that. And I understand that some people are open to that. I get it. I get that some people are open to that. I get it. But it's just, I feel like you should read your partner. At that point, you should know your partner. If you are in a relationship with your partner and you know who they are, how they are, you're at that point living with them, you're at that point married to them, and you say, hey, they introduce the topic of having another person for extracurricular activities. I feel like you should know your partner enough to know if they're gonna say yes or no.
Yeah.
See, I think for that, I've had conversations with people before that have brought up. As for me with open relationships, that's not going to happen. And I feel like you said, you need to gauge your partner to be able to figure out. But a lot of people are, especially nowadays, for whatever reason, they are so quick to please the other party that even if they don't believe in what what they're asking them, they're going to do it just to try it so they can appease them. And then once they try it, it's already like your foot's already in the door. There's no going back at this point. Yeah. And it's already part of your relationship. And I brought up the other thing where I said I've had conversations about this because I'm like, it's a real thing. It happens where people ask those types of questions and get part of an open relationship. And jealousy ensues on all parts. It is, I don't know how people do it where they can like seem calm and, equally provide love or provide that attention to each party. But like from the conversation I had with somebody, it didn't work out that way at all. It was a mess. It was a hot mess, and it just ended up terrible. So
I think it's a nice thought.
I'm sure it's fun for the moment.
For the moment, it's definitely fun. Like, I could be with you, and you.
But there are couples who are making it work.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
It doesn't all end bad.
I think it takes a certain type of maturity and worldview.
Maturity? What you mean?
I do think it takes a type of maturity. Like, well, because you have to be. You have to. It takes maturity, understanding, and worldview to really mix together to actually sit there and state, you know, I have you, I have the best parts of you. You can go and have, you can go
share with her.
You can go share the parts that that are easier to share with that person, because I understand that I can't give you everything that you want. You know, I'm the 80. You can go have fun with your 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh wow. See, this reminds me of, I was listening to another podcast, and she was stating how it was a completely unrelated topic, but what it had to do with this generation, we don't know how to endure.
Yeah.
So when it becomes hard, we look for ways out. Or if it's not breaking off a relationship, it's, you know, seeking someone else, whether it's cheating or now you want to open your relationship. Mm-hmm. So instead of us just like, you know, this relationship is hard and we have to work through it.
Yeah.
We try to find the easiest way out. And so I feel like if your partner, you know your partner is not going to be everything for you, because that's one person. They cannot be everything for you. So I feel like my job is, as a girlfriend, as a wife, is to find ways to make it work. You continually work to make it work. You continually like educate yourself, learn about your partner, find out what they like, same that they do the same thing for you, and you guys grow together, instead of, oh yeah, we don't click here, so let me go find someone that clicks with me here. Or we get along better, I get along better with this person here. Like, I feel like it's very unhealthy for a person's whole being, because I feel like you just create a place where it's like, how to say, microwave society.
Yeah.
If it's not here now, I'm gonna get it now. Like, I'm gonna find a way to get it now.
Yeah.
There's no waiting, there's no patience, it's just gotta go.
You know, people can say, I feel like I feel like both views can be viewed in a mature light, I think. But, you know, I think a lot of things. I think that, you know, from a polygamist's point of view, it can be seen as healthy and mature that I'm comfortable enough with myself to allow you to go seek your 20. You know, I think that in a way that, you know, that shows confidence in oneself. Okay. That you were able to do that. Mm-hmm. But I also believe that endurance, like strength, I think that as an individual in a monogamous relationship, someone who chooses and seeks that shows maturity because they're able to endure.
Yeah.
I think that's where the maturity in a monogamous relationship sets in. And I honestly personally don't believe that most monogamous relationships are set in the whole endurance factor. Yeah. I think it's more set in the whole jealousy. They don't want to share. Mm-hmm. It's for them. Yeah. You know, and I understand that
you belong to me.
You belong to me concept. Mm-hmm. And you know, I get that. Me, myself, and I do that too. But I'm also on the side of monogamy because of my faith. That's a huge part of it. And I think naturally I would be a monogamous person too. But I believe in monogamy so much so that God gave me the want to endure. And that's why I wouldn't personally go into a polygamous relationship, because I do believe that it's a very easy route. Yes, I gain quote unquote confidence in myself because I'm allowing them and able to allow them to go out and seek what they want and still believe that they'll come back to me. But where am I learning unconditional love? Where am I learning that? Because I'm not enduring with them. I'm giving them the best parts of me, and anything they can't give me, I rent to someone else. I'm not learning endurance. I'm not learning how to buckle down. I'm not learning how to last the storms. I'm not learning that in a polygamous relationship. You know, and of course people are going to fight. They're probably going to say, no, that's not true. You are learning that because you're learning the confidence behind this person possibly leaving and still being sure in yourself. But I don't know, maybe this is where it kind of breaks for me, where I don't believe that about the polygamous plight.
I can see both sides in the sense of, how should I say? I believe both sides can struggle and both sides can actually endure, especially if it's the main with the main and they want to stay together regardless of what's going on the outside for the other people. I do believe they can endure and it can be like a monogamous relationship, but because they have such open you know, like you said, access to other people who are able to give them more of themselves, I guess. It does change the fact, but I was going somewhere with this. But more than anything, I think I was trying to go back to boundaries. I think rather than maturity, I see the effective communication has to be like there with polygamy.
Yeah.
Only because if you do have a main person and that person is supposed to be like, you guys already talk like, okay, whoever you go see can only be your, you know, your quote unquote friend. They can't know anything about your family past, you know, whatever. Like, there has to be like some deep rooted, deep set boundaries that both follow. And I think there's a trust put in the main that they will follow that, and they will not allow somebody to come in and, hey, you know, I heard your father died, you know, like, let me comfort you, let me be there for you, like, you know, like, they have to be able to put that foot down and say, no, that's for him who's my main. You cannot be that person, because if you're with multiple people, they're going to know things about you that happen, and for you to, you know, stop them dead on and say, I can't allow you to be closer to me.
So is that cheating?
That's what I was going to go to next, though. What changes in an open relationship to make it cheating, and what changes in a polygamous relationship to make it cheating? Because it's not technically cheating if you're allowed to go with multiple people, like, but it can be cheating if you pass the boundaries. So,
but like you said about open communication, if there is not, you're with someone who you did not communicate to your partner about, to your main or whatever, you did not tell your partner about this person, you're being sneaky, you're like planning on
I'm gonna run off with this
being
person.
monogamous with that one person. Like, I feel like that it can be cheating when you begin to move weird, when you begin to be sneaky and you're not open with communication anymore, and all of a sudden, I think it's, to be honest, I think an open relationship is more easily to offend in that way, because how do you know that you want to pursue this person?
Yeah.
You're going to have to talk to them. You're going to have to get to know them. You're going to have to see this person as a viable
option
partner to be with, to bring it to your main partners, to tell them, hey, so I met so-and-so. We've been talking. I think he's just a sweet person. You should get to know him, and whatever the case may be, in order to get permission, or I don't know if that's the right word, but permission from the main to be able to go out and do that. So I feel like it can become cheating very easily when communication is not open anymore.
I feel like it's not as easy to see in an open relationship when someone's just cheating, as it's like it's kind of cut and dry with monogamous relationships. Of course, according to the couple's boundaries.
I was gonna say
and settings, whatever they think cheating is. But I feel like with open relationships, it's like, am I cheating now? I don't know. Like, I've been talking to you for the past 2 weeks now. My main doesn't know. Am I cheating now?
I think if you as an individual, if you are a polygamist, you will know when you're cheating with your partner due to whatever it is.
I think you have to be very self-aware.
That's what I was going to say, because, like, I've been in situations where I haven't cheated, obviously, but, like, I've just felt bad about not saying certain things that I didn't have to say. Like, oh yeah, I went out with a friend, but even when I don't say that, it's like, dang, was I keeping this from that person? Did I need to keep it from that person? Yeah. And it's just like, and then that guilt just gets you. So I feel like you can know when you're cheating. If, like she said, if you start acting sneaky and weird, and I don't even think that comes with self-awareness. I think that's just, if you got a conscience, you know. You know? Exactly.
But I guess maybe it's because I'm not in a polygamous relationship.
Just a disclaimer, none of us are in polygamous relationships.
We probably should have somebody who is in a polygamous relationship talk about this.
Oh yeah, let me call up one of my friends right now.
I know a couple too.
Like, do cheaters count as polygamous relationships? I'm kidding.
What? I think that the main person in the polygamous relationship, they know their partner enough to know what woos them or what swoons them. Mm-hmm. And so they'll be like, if the partner met someone, they'll be like, you're not talking to that one. No, you're not talking. I'm sorry. Nope, we're not talking about this. Yeah. And then the cut and dry, you know? Because like I said, they're like you said, or I said, I don't remember who said it. There's some people you just click with.
Yeah.
And that was me.
That was her?
Plug. please. That was probably me. You trying to steal my thunder.
We can roll this back.
You know, there are probably people you do click with. You just... And I feel like I would know what kind of guy that you would go for. Because I've known you for a while. You know? If you were to say... If a random dude that just so happens to be your type walked in, I would know.
And I would know for you too.
No, you wouldn't.
And why is it not the same?
It's not the same.
Oh my goodness.
And, you know... Would you ever... I'm not gonna ask that question.
Well, keeping on the I guess polygamy track, do you guys feel that searching for, I don't want to say searching, but say you have a person who is not giving you what you want or what you need in your relationship, and you don't necessarily seek it from somebody else, but you happen to realize, like, oh my gosh, they're giving me this, but you don't know yet. But then a connection starts to form. Would that be considered cheating if a connection forms and you're not aware of it? However, I know once you become aware of it and you don't do anything to stop it, that can be considered cheating. But is it cheating if you are not aware of it?
Honey, I know when I'm about to cheat. Okay, you can't tell me nothing. You can't sit there and say that you don't know that you're forming a connection with someone. I don't believe that that's how... I've never cheated on someone, by the way. But I don't believe that that's how... I don't believe you won't recognize that. I don't believe that people can... I just realized I was in love with her suddenly. I don't believe in that. Like, I know I have intense feelings for this person. I know intense feelings are forming for this person.
You don't have to love somebody to cheat.
You don't. I'm not saying that. But the way I operate personally, for me to cheat,
You'd have to have intense feelings.
I have
for
to
that
have
other
intense
person.
feelings for that
Okay.
person.
I see. I feel like for me... Wait, what was the question?
It was a long question. I don't even know.
I feel
Answer
like
what
for
you
me,
feel.
I think you can cheat unintentionally. Well, that's not the word. Not cheat unintentionally, but I think you can form connections with people and really think it's friendship. But in all actuality, you're filling a void
Okay.
that your partner is not giving you. And so, because you're not thinking of it as cheating, this is just somebody I'm talking to. It doesn't have to be on a romantic level. Just say you guys are just connecting in a way that you just don't connect with your partners. Say it's not has nothing to do with sex or has nothing to do with inappropriateness, but it's filling a void that you're not getting from your partner. Mm-hmm. I remember I had a friend who she was making weird moves, and we're like, why are you, if you're in a relationship, why are you doing these things? And
I know her.
Her response was,
I know her, don't I?
her response was, because I'm not getting it from so and so. But then the question was, if you're not getting it from so and so, is it right that you'll get it from someone else? Like, is that...
See, now, if you intentionally, that's what I mentioned before, if you intentionally receive that type of...
That's different.
Yeah, but if you don't know, that's like...
But you will figure it out, though.
Eventually,
feel like you
though.
will figure it out.
If you're self-reflecting...
No, I don't think so. I don't think you have to be self-reflecting. I think that your emotions will grow for that person. Just like Lena said, like, you know when your feelings gets some way. If you're, like, looking forward to seeing a person... If you're looking forward to seeing a person, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to work today and so-and-so's going to be there.
Yeah.
You should start to question these things.
Yes.
If you're getting excited to somebody else like that, no. It's like, but say, I don't know, because sometimes it's literally friendship. Like, if I go to work and I work with JP, right? And I'm going to work and we happen to work that same schedule, I'm like, oh, I'm excited to see JP. Why can't I be excited to see someone of the opposite sex?
I don't think it's about them being the opposite sex. I don't think that's what it's about. I think that you know the difference between excitement of I'm seeing my friend and excitement of I'm seeing my friend.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, I think
and what that's gonna do for you, like on the inside, like, I'm gonna feel good today. He gonna
smile at me with them.
He gonna talk to me.
Pearly white smiles.
Yes. If you, all I gotta say is, if you have butterflies or you getting moist, something's going on. Like your boundaries aren't set up. Like that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't help the butterflies. I get it. There are some people where it's just like you said. there's just something, you know. I've been in a situation like that where the person I was with was just a jerk, and we talking about the Hebrew Israelite guy, and he was just a terrible person. And I remember it, like,
I hope he hears this.
I hope he hears. But I remember, like, unintentionally, like, because of the lack of love and affection that I was getting in the relationship, I remember one time I accidentally flirted in front of him to someone else. It was unintentional. It was on accident. I just started flirting. I was just like, you know, when you smile a little too hard, and you know, you flip you put your hair behind your ear. I was wearing weave. Put your hair behind your ear, you know, and the guy's sitting there flirting back, knowing that what's his name is right there, knowing that what's his name's right there, flirting back, and it was honestly, it was unintentional, but it was a lot of the reason was because the man that I was with was not he wasn't fulfilling the things that you would require someone to fulfill to sustain a good relationship.
All right, so I don't want to say in closing, but as a final question, what do you guys believe sustains good relationships?
I like this topic.
What do I believe sustains a good relationship?
For me, I believe in honesty. I know a lot of people are like, you know, the truth hurts, so say it nicely. Nah, I'm not with that. Like, I could take the truth as it is, and I'd rather them tell me as it is rather than, you know, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I just want to let you know.
Why does it sound like that? It don't gotta sound like that.
I know, you know me. I'm dramatic.
Honestly, when people do that, that's how I think of them sounding.
Exactly, me too.
Like,
anyways, without all that dramatic additions, but honesty, loyalty, and communication are like the top for me. Boundaries should be added in there somewhere, but the top three are honesty, loyalty, and communication for a really, really, really good relationship and for it to be stable.
You know, in response to the first part that you said, what was it?
Honesty.
I feel like in a healthy relationship, there is going to be someone coming at you softly because he cares about your feelings. Well, I say he because we're all females, but even she. The way they will talk to you would matter because of if they just came out and told you it like this, maybe your personality can handle it. But some people, like if my fiance came up to me and was very harsh with me, I wouldn't take it well.
you're like, girl, you look ugly today.
I think there's a difference between harsh and beating around the bush.
Even if he was brutally honest to the point where it hurt me, like the thing is you have to be honest.
Yeah.
But there's a way to be honest.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to rub it in. You don't have to make your point extra clear.
Like, hey, you heard me. You see what?
There's way you can be gentle. You can be gentle in offering true, honesty. And so I feel like someone who cares for you and loves you will offer gentleness in that as well. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be. And I feel like a telltale sign that a guy is falling out of interest. Not love, but falling out of interest with you would be the fact that maybe at first he was very gentle with his words, but now he's like, girl, or even if he doesn't say girl, he'd be like, JP, you don't look good today. Whereas before he'd be like, babe, come on, like let's dress up today. Let's go out. Let's do something different today. But if he just find like he's just becoming flippant with you, just like saying whatever, I take that as a sign of, so we're about to break up because you disrespecting me right now. Yeah. You can tell me what you got to say, but you're not gonna say it like that. You're gonna be careful with the way you talk to me because my feelings, my heart matters. Yeah. So I feel like gentleness.
They ain't got thick skin.
Boy. Girl, I feel like you don't need to have thick skin for that. I feel like if he cares for you, he will be gentle with you. Yeah, he should be gentle with you.
I got normal skin. I don't got thick skin.
But anyways, I feel like the communication is very important, and loyalty. I feel like loyalty is really important. Not just loyalty. Like, loyal in faithfulness, but also loyal to the point where if his friends start talking about you, he got your back.
Yup.
When it's time for him to rise up, he's rising up. Or even the girl, your girlfriend, that when she's around her friends, she's not dogging you out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that she's showing her friend that she has respect for you, and in turn they will respect him because of that. So I feel like and respect by itself, like just having respect. I remember I listened to a podcast this week, and the lady was saying how it matters. She's like, it matters how you talk about your spouse in front of him and when he's not there.
Yes.
So even when you're with your girlfriends, that you're not sitting here, dogging him out, that you are still uplifting him as if he was there. And I think that's something I never thought of, to be honest. But I was like, that's really important too.
Yeah.
It will change your language about him and your friend's perspective of him.
Side note, sorry to cut you off, the LJP, but
I wasn't talking.
what do I call you?
Sunny side up.
Sunny Side Up made a really, really good point, because I understand that friends are there to help you, especially through the times where your man is just, like driving you crazy. However, they don't need to know, one, how crazy he driving you, and they don't need to know every detail of how crazy he driving you. They can know he's driving you crazy. They can know a little bit about it, but to the point where they know the color of his underwear and his socks that he was wearing that day that drove you crazy,
And the ski mark.
is way too much. And as she said, that diminishes the respect that they would have for him as well. Mm-hmm. And you know very well, the moment that your friends that you were telling all this to come up and use that against, like, oh, that's why she always didn't like you, because you did this, that just loses respect all around for all parties. Yeah. So just keep it simple. Just be like, hey, friends, just like, I need help with this, point blank, period.
Or I need prayer,
go on.
Pray for my relationship.
And then move on with your life. But details can be excluded for the sake of respect.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Unless you're literally seeking advice. You're seeking advice from someone you trust, someone you know has your back. Not just your back, but
someone, not some people.
But also someone who has your partner's back.
Yeah.
Like, not someone be like, oh, girl, you need to break up with him. That is not somebody you want in your corner. That's not somebody you want to get advice from. You need advice from somebody who's going to look at it from both sides and going to be able to say, okay, you was wrong when you did this. Mm-hmm. You should have did that. And then he was wrong when he did. Somebody who just see it from all sides.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just piggybacking off, because I know, like, anytime a friend has told me something negative about their boyfriend, of course I'm going to judge whether or not it's even that bad. Because, some things are just your friends blowing out of proportion, and they just need someone to vent to. But then there are things that are disrespectful and demeaning. And once I hear things about entering into disrespect and demeaning, again, like you said, you do lose respect for that person, for their man or for their woman, and in losing respect for them, you in turn start to lose grace for them, and you don't have as much grace for your friend's husband, boyfriend, whatever, as that your friend does. So they'll tell you something about him that's demeaning, that's disrespectful,
like, once again,
and demeaning and disrespectful. And you, because at the end of the day, your best interest is for your friend, will always hold that against that person. Yeah. Even if your friend forgot about it. Even though it's like, oh, honey, it's dead and gone. It's dead and gone, honey. No, but me as the friend sees how bad it can get. And because of that, I will hold it against him. And I think that's why it's, like you said, it's very important to not share the details and things like that when you guys do get into it, when it does get bad. Like, of course we know that they're human, but at the same time, like, if the person that you're with is dogging you out,
if you're not trying to leave him,
exactly. If you're not trying to leave him, don't tell me everything about him. Don't, because it's gonna ruin things.
So back to the original question, LJP.
What was the question?
What sustains a relationship to you, for you?
For me, I think of course, you know, loyalty, blah blah blah, but faith is a big thing for me. I want him to have faith that we're the one that's gonna last. I want him to have that hope that what is in the word it says faith is the belief of things that are to come.
It's
And
evidence of things
that unseen.
Mm-hmm.
And I need him.
Ew.
I want him to come in with the belief that this is going to last a lifetime. This is what has been God ordained. This is what belongs to me and will always belong to me. I think that, like, above all else, that's something that I want coming into the relationship.
Yeah.
And of course, loyalty, like I said before. And you better respect me.
Anyway, you gotta get so aggressive.
Because it's a thing for me. Respect is so important to me. And piggybacking, and also loyalty. Like, I'm the type of person that my man could look stupid in front of people, and he could be saying the wrong thing, but I'm still gonna back him up. Like, he may be wrong. He's wrong in that moment in front of everyone else. But behind closed doors, honey, you know that was dumb, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know that wasn't a good idea, right?
I was gonna tell you for everybody.
Like, but yeah, you need to do something. You should probably change something there, honey, please, for us.
Don't embarrass me again.
Don't embarrass me again.
Like, I had your back. Don't know how I had your back twice though.
But I think that's ultimately what I believe will have a relationship last. On that note, thank you for joining us. Please leave your comments, your likes.
Oh, I wanted to include one more thing. My bad. JP. One more thing when we said not telling your friends about if you're in an abusive relationship, tell somebody.
I'm gonna say that.
Verbally abusive, physically abusive,
Emotionally abusive.
If somebody's really out of pocket, you need to tell your friends. That stuff, you can't let that slide. Even if you're not ready to leave him, you might need somebody to shake you. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, and not, if you are in a dangerous position or even emotionally dangerous, get out.
Please.
Tell a friend.
Please.
Talk to 799.
962 2873.
That's a Palm Beach.
1-800-962-2873. Thank you.
And then the National Domestic Violence. You didn't even finish it properly. It's supposed to say, please leave your comments.
Just go.
It's still playing.
Oh! The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. But please leave your comments.
Give us a like, leave a comment,
Subscribe to MMC. Yeah,
you know me.